Hello, my name is Sara, and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to go over my progress with my business plan. So, in my previous video, I talked about my business plan. I came out with an incredible idea. I did all the research, got all, the paperwork from my side. Everything was flowing great. I made a customized video and sent it to 7 different life coaches. What I believed are the 7 top life coaches on the internet, on Instagram/YouTube. Okay? Once I did that, the reaction I got was not what I was expecting. In the professional world, in pretty much companies or when you're dealing with another professional, when you take the time to create an invitation like that, people, when they deny, they respond something like, thank you for taking the time to send me this offer or whatever, we're not interested. Or simply not, get anything in return, which is fine. It's not professional. Listen, it's not professional. In companies, whenever we would get invites, we would politely decline. We wouldn't just leave them in the dark and then create videos and talk to them between the lines, stalking situation. Listen, I just sent you a message. Why are you stalking and talking through your post? You can actually respond back, But anyways, that's not the point. One also, threatened to send their team, after me if I don't put down the video. Which is, like I said, not the reaction I was expecting. First, I was expecting to, for everyone to jump up and down, which was not the expectation, which is fine. It's not how it turned out. But to get ignored and actually, lashed out like that, and, then getting mocked through posts or whatever, whatever. It is showing me the level of professionalism that these life coaches have. I took down the post, so you don't know who I'm talking about. But that's pretty much what I've experienced. And this is what it is. Every time there's something off, you gotta take action for the situation to move, right? Once the situation moves, then you can, based on the actions they take, then you can determine, right? So the person that threatened me, I went to 4 of his shows. So I was actually expecting, thank you, but no thank you kind of thing. So I support, the person by going to their shows, and then when I send them an invite, backlash, right? So again, this is not to gossip. I'm not here to gossip. I'm just showing you the level of professionalism. So these are the modern life coaches, the modern leaders, the modern influencers, right? So be very careful, and this is going to be very interesting to see where this is going to lead us. Custom video, sent it out, negative reaction. No problem. Prior to that, last year, the year before, I actually needed help. I did. I needed help. I was like, I'm new to social media. Let me see if I can get help. I reached out to 2 life coaches, and also horrible experience. They, tried to, one of them sold me their package. The other one tried to sell me their package. Didn't want to talk to me unless I bought, a $5,000 package. Trust me, the guy is not worth $5,000 at all. But refused to talk to me. Hey, listen, if let's say I have a question on a product, I can call the company and be like, hey, can you explain what you do? Can you explain your services? But these guys can't even do that. So you reach out to a life coach and they're like, we're not going to talk to you at all unless you buy something. You book a call through a buying, you pay $5,000, then we talk to you. So then I said, you know what? Maybe I aimed too high. Let me aim a little lower and go towards a younger generation that doesn't have the life experience and, maybe cannot charge that much just to speak to me, I tried. And no, he wanted $2,000 or else, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. But whatever. This is not the point. I'm not here to make fun. I'm here to give you facts. Facts of what a regular person has to go through on the internet, which makes no sense that I have to go through all this ruckus just to speak to somebody. And it's okay, because again, I'm going to discover what's the situation. I'm going to tell you exactly what's happening for those who are not catching on and are confused. I'm going to break it down and make it very clear, because now I see what's happening and I can explain it. So my conclusion is, Instagram is a digital yellow page. That's all it is. Instagram is professional people going online and pitching their pattern. So you can see some people are stuck in the empath narcissistic pattern. That's all they talk about all day long, all the time for years and years and years. Then you have other people describing metaphysical, which is great. They're like a teacher out there putting that information out. So that's wonderful for the newcomers, the people that are confused. But what about the people that have seen all these videos and want the next best thing, right? There's nothing satisfying those. To me right now, it's a yellow page. It's like, oh, if you need this, call us, and by buying this product, you'll get to connect. If you need that, buy this, you'll get to connect. It's simply a yellow page. I don't see it as a community yet. I don't. But I'm going to turn it into a community. This is the whole point of this exercise. But right now it's super divided. That's not a community. Instagram is not a community. And look at it this way. If, God forbid, they close Instagram, they close YouTube, what are you going to do? Like, think about it. Oh, no, well, I have a client list of email. Okay, so you're going to bombard your people with email and, look at me, look at my video, and then you're going to do that through email? I don't know. People are going to get disconnected. Listen, if YouTube closes and Instagram closes, most of you people have to go back into stores and sell products, whatever you were doing before this YouTube thing, So don't be too focused and grabbed on YouTube and internet. Don't put your value on the number of audience you have, because if you do, you're going to be in big trouble. You should put your value on what you can actually provide to the world, not how good you look or how much of a great script you're reading, how amazing you're sticking to the agenda and to the plan. That's what I see. I just see, again, digital commercials. That's all I see. So we're going to have to get out of this digital commercial era, because to me, as someone who reads energy, to me, that's two-dimensional. That's like looking at a paper and be like, okay, this one does that, this one does that, this one charges for this one charges for that. But there's no interaction. And I'm going to get to why there's no interaction, because I noticed a lot of these head life coaches are cult leaders. They are. And this is why it's always the same group following them around. They have their members, they have their audience, and they're pretty much set because they're part of the Illuminati and, they're important within the Illuminati rank. This is why if you send them an invitation for a festival, they freak out. First, legally, they're not allowed, okay? Their contract will never let them collaborate with someone that they want to collaborate. Only the Grand Master, the headmaster can tell you who you can collaborate, because don't forget, the world is a big stage, okay? The spiritual people that signed with the Illuminatis thinking they were doing the world a favor, they were doing themselves a favor. Let's just be honest. Doing themselves a favor, service to me. But that's not what it is, right? Now you're limited. Now you can't collaborate, right? Now you just have to pretend to be a god for the rest of, YouTube world. Because now you can't collaborate. Your contract says you cannot collaborate, right? So this is, to me, a cult. It's like religion, right? You believe in another religion, you're going to go to hell. So Illuminati is not going to let you collaborate. It goes against their policies. It goes against the mushu, the plan of destruction, right? They're controlling and putting a cap on your talent. And you have allowed them by volunteering and asking, to sign up. It's okay. Because this is why I need to know who's clean and who's not clean. If you're not clean, there's nothing to do, you're part of the division. But if you're clean, lead by example, and I'm going to get to the solution to this. So we have the Illuminati cult leaders, right? It's so obvious that they're cult leaders. Then you have the Illuminati puppets, right? They're below the cult leader. They're the younger generation who think they're hot shots and acting like this, like that. But they have the Illuminati that, provides everything in the back. So it's funny how they're like, oh, I went through all this hard time, but you didn't. You got famous because you signed in the back, So it's that's why I can't believe these people anymore. They lost credibility, but that's okay. Again, I'm not getting to criticize. I'm getting to the bottom of this. Most are actors, and most have fake audiences, or audiences where it has to be their audience. It cannot be people walking from outside, right? I don't know why. They did not like the idea, but let's not be open to the public. Let's just be amongst ourselves. So this is why this is a cult. This is not free, open public. Okay? It's not open door. So let me explain the energy before I explain the solution and what next action I'm going to take, okay? So right now what's happening, there's a huge division on Instagram, on social media, right? You have a bunch of little cliques. It's like high school. It is, it's sad, but it's like high school. You have, the popular people, and then if you do like me and you try to group them all together, they freak out. I don't want to be seen with that guy. I don't want to be seen with her. I did not see any sign of community. I did not see any sign of appreciation. I didn't see anything but a snooty reaction from one of the people's team, and the way they reacted, I saw that this was going to freak them out. Okay, right? So this is not good, right? But I understand it's part of the material world. What is the material world? It's the world of competition. I create a product, right? So let's say I want to create this mouse, right? So I want to create this mouse. I come up with the parts, the bill of material. I, use manufacturing. I put the assemble together. I do quality control. I ship it, and my mouse ends up in all these, communication channels, like these retailers, right? That gives it to other people. However, this doesn't work anymore because we're in the world of energy. I can't be like, this is the mouse, right? Because I don't know what I'm going to create. It's energy, right? So when it comes to energy, it's more like a song, okay? So I described the material world, the manufacturing world, like what I have to do to create this mouse, right? That's the old world. That doesn't work anymore. That's what's happening in Instagram. It's like, oh, look what I'm selling. I'm selling bullshit, but look what I'm selling. I'm selling ayahuasca, Look at it this way. If you're telling your people that through ayahuasca they heal, then they're always going to need ayahuasca to heal. Listen, I know people that do ayahuasca their entire life. So I will never do an ayahuasca retreat because that to me is a shortcut. That to me is not what a real life coach does. But again, I'm not here to criticize, right? Two-dimensional. I sell, okay? I have a product I'm selling. I want to get out of that idea. That idea doesn't work anymore because I've looked at everyone selling, and to me, none of it is worth it. So what is the next best thing? Energy, right? What is energy similar to? And the explanation will be like a song, okay? That's the only way I thought about it, and I'm like, it's the only way I can explain it. For me to come up with a song, I can't be like, hey, I already know Stairway to Heavens, right? I already know the drum, the guitar. I need to put everyone together and create the song. Right now, this is what's happening, right? But we don't know the song. I don't know the song. I can't be like, well, I need a drummer and I need a guitar player to do this, to do that, so I can make the song. That's not what's happening right now. And this is what there's a huge disconnect and what people don't understand. How do you create a song? You take 5 to, let's say, 6 people and you create a band, right? You create the platform. Then you talk. You have a couple of beer, a couple of this, couple of that. You talk about your past, you talk about your future, you talk about yourself. And then as you're talking, oh, hey, hold on, there's a beat. Let me play it on the guitar. Let me play this riff, right? So as I'm playing the riff, right? The drummer can be like, oh, hold on, I got a beat for this, right? And then the pianist comes and says, you know what, I got a melody. And then the chorus guy comes and says, I have the lyrics, right? So after months of jamming together, you create a song, right? So how do I explain this in the material world? I can't because I don't have the song, right? So people are like, oh, she doesn't have the song. She's not legit. There's no way for me to come up with a song, right? Because I need my band members. I need one of each, right? Right now, it's like all the guitar players are hanging together. All the drummers are hanging together. It's all a bunch of little cliques, right? That's kind of useless. What's the point of having 10 drummers together, 10 guitar players together, What I want to do is take one of each or whatever community, whoever that wants to participate, and create a band, create a platform. And I spoke to the people of the Pier. They're incredible. It's a nonprofit. They're, to me, that's the perfect location to gather a bunch of talents and create a platform. Now, if let's say that's too much, I can always rent a park. That's pretty much super cheap compared to renting the pier, or we can gather at someone's house, or, like at first, I cannot be like, well, if you hang out with me, this is what we're gonna, come up with, right? But we need a platform. We need to collaborate. I saw only 1 or 2 physical collaboration on YouTube, and after that, it stopped. So I can see that the head of Illuminatis did not like that. It's all individualistic. You cannot unite, So me, what I want to do is I want to create a video to see exactly who is capable of uniting. Who doesn't have a contract that binds them, right? Who is, free to do whatever they want? Because those are the people that are going to lead by example, not the one that's in jail at home. That makes no sense, right? It's energetic. Everyone senses your energy. Everyone knows you're screwed. And I'm not just talking about one, like a few of them, you can tell they're screwed for a long time. But it's not up to me to tell them, So if I see somebody and I'm like, wow, you're screwed for a long time, I'm not going to be wanting to work with them. It's normal. So it's important to lead by example, okay? So for me, it's important to have one person of every generation. Like, let's say if you're part of the army, like you would know how to talk so that the Illuminatis don't tap into your communication. Like, listen, once I have my team, these videos are going to stop. I'm not going to keep declaring what I'm doing on a daily basis now that I see how dirty it is. Now that I see how dirty everyone is, I am not going to put all my secrets out. So, that's what it is. You got to take action to see how people react. And based on their reaction, you can determine what's going on. Okay? So now my energy is I want to create a studio, a band, and we hang out. They don't make shows like Seinfeld anymore. I told you, girls and guys can hang out. I understand, Elaine dated Jerry, and then that didn't work out. So then, she just became friends with everybody. I understand. She dated one, But Friends was also great. But then Friends, they all ended up dating each other. So that doesn't make sense either. But trust me when I tell you, there's a reason why shows like that are a lot of fun. Because you see 5, 6 people that are completely different from each other that have synergy and that collaborate. And when I say collaborate, I mean physical collaboration. I'm not talking about podcast. Listen, podcast, it's somebody like, I'm talking in my living room, I'm giving you my opinion, like, great. But I'm telling you, the world of podcasts is going to end pretty soon. Like, how much talking you're going to do with your buddy, like, listen, collaboration, one stage, many people. And why am I saying this? Because you don't know what's going to come out. People are going to have their script. Let's say you have an hour slot, you have 30 minutes script. The other 30 minutes, you don't know. The other 30 minutes enables gods to do their work. It enables the invisible hand to do its work. This is why you wouldn't know what the song is until you actually perform. You're physically there. You create the platform. Okay, so this is a huge thing that the Illuminatis don't want me to do, and I can see it. The very first person I reached out to was Donut when I first came to social media. Hey, Donut. But I got in a lot of trouble. My computer got hacked. I had to close my Love and Life coach accounts. I had Instagram and Facebook. My Facebook got hacked so bad. I simply left them. I abandoned them and I started a new one. And that was my experience reaching out to Donut. He was the first guy I reached out to and I got in so much trouble. So I remember after that I stopped. And, then I reached out for help and I got even in worse trouble. Oh my God, these people are using me. This is even worse, So this is why I never reached out for collaboration because, wow, the backlash, right? But now the Lionsgate's coming. Like, now I'm starting to put the 2 and 2 together. The backlash isn't coming from the gods. The backlash isn't the rejection is God's protection. Trust me, when God protects me through rejection, I know this is protection. But me reaching out and trying to collaborate and getting backlash like that, that's not God. Trust me when I tell you, that is a negative energy preventing me from collaborating. So if the negative energy doesn't want me to collaborate, guess what I'm going to do? Collaborate. Okay? So my next move is I'm going to make a small individual video linking you to this video so you can come watch this video and watch the business plan before that I have. If you're interested, wonderful. Let's proceed. If you're not interested, you don't even need to reply. I already got negative backlash. Just don't give me negative backlash. Just say we are not interested, or don't say anything. Okay? Either you don't say anything or we're not interested. Okay? I don't want any negative for my invitation. Okay? I take time making videos. Negative says a lot about you. All right? Calm down. I'm not trying to steal your audience. I'm not trying to steal your limelight. I'm not trying to be an Illuminati cult leader. Right? I'm just trying to collaborate with whoever that has the freedom to do so. Whoever that is capable of collaborating and taking this community on Instagram to the next level. So I'm looking forward to working with the underdogs, because to me, that's where the talent is. It's the people that didn't sell out. I need to be able to collaborate. If you can't collaborate, you can't collaborate. So it's very important for me to find out. Now, I'm going to send this video to a lot of people now. If no one can collaborate, I'll make another video and I'll update everybody of how bad the situation is. But I'm hoping that one or two can collaborate. And hey, it doesn't have to be physical. Okay, I'm going to try to reach people that are in California. If you're not too far, I'll reach out. But if, let's say, you're on another continent or whatever, and you get my invite, participate digitally. Okay, and it's not podcast stuff. It's just to get to know each other so that we can see who plays what instrument and how we can come up with a wonderful song together. Okay, this is for the open-minded people. This is for the people that are bold to experiment out there, that are not scared of, tinting their reputation because they tried something different, This is for the people that are courageous, bold, and that want to get out of their comfort zone, okay? Not attached to their success, attached to how they can impact the world through collaboration, because the future is unity. Whoever stands alone is going to fall. Eventually, I'm not saying now, but eventually, when everyone's going to unify and they're going to be all alone, it's going to be weird, So once everyone unifies, the rest are going to have no choice but to unify as well. Because trust me when I tell you, if we stand alone as humans, we're not going to make it, right? But through unity, trust me when I tell you, absolutely nothing can affect unity. I worked in companies, and I can tell you, when there's hundreds and hundreds of people all working towards the same goal, that is one powerful synergy. And this is why I've always liked it. I still love that. But then I got burnt out because last job wore me out so much. But I burnt out. I loved it so much that I burnt out. Okay? So trust me when I tell you, it's better for us to create a community and all work together so that we can be like a digital company. That force, even if Instagram disappears, YouTube disappears, trust me, that force, nothing can touch it. Right? So we need to work towards that. Not towards individual computer, because that's the agenda, right? To lock everybody home, cut, human interaction, cut collaboration, divide everybody, and have everyone glued to the script that Instagram is selling, or the script that YouTube is selling, right? This is a, MK mind control. And you can see all of the podcasters have an agenda. It's crazy. Every single podcaster now that I watch all have an agenda. They're all pushing. And even, the so-called celebrities now. They all have an agenda and they're all pushing something. Why are you pushing? There's no need to push anything. There's no agenda. The agenda is we're here to help. What are you pushing? What message are you pushing? So this is why. This is why we got to overwrite the script. And the only way we can overwrite the script is finding people that are bold enough to collaborate when the world tells them not to. Okay? So this video is for my brave people, my courageous people that are willing to put themselves and their reputation online for something greater than themselves. I have an incredible fire inside of me. That's not going to stop. I was dimmed for a while, and now the fire is back up. So trust me when I tell you, the flow is taking me towards collaboration, and everything that I'm doing, including my permits and my papers or whatever, has been incredibly flawless and smooth. So that's the path of least resistance. And the path of least resistance right now is collaboration. For me, anyways, not for those who signed. So Thank you very much. I hope this video explained exactly what I went through and my experience approaching life coaches, either as clients or as partners. Both have been negative. So this is something that we need to change, because when that's the experience of the average person, we're not really putting out good things into the world, unfortunately. We're just, again, repeating our patterns and projecting and constantly talking about the same thing over and over again. So right now, everyone's in a loop. All right, so let's break the loop altogether. And don't be shy. I'm going to put in the shorter video the email address. Okay, so the email address, I'm going to give it to you right now. It's info@vivacitylA.com. Right? vivacitylA.com is the website. So feel free to check it out. vivacitylA.com is the website, and info@vivacitylA.com is my email address. So once you see this video and you want to participate, please send me an email and tell me simply your location so I know if we can meet physically or it's going to be digitally, right? So like that, we can start a conversation. And please let me know the communication method that you prefer. So if you want phone number, give me your phone number. If you want email, give me your email. And you want to work in secrecy, give me your website address and I contact you through your website. Okay, whatever you prefer and that's easier for you, because I understand everyone's in a sticky situation. Okay, the point right now is simply to connect, to see who wants to be part of a band, right? Then I'm not going to eliminate anybody. Whoever wants is in. This is not a selection process. Whoever wants and has something to contribute, you're in, right? This is, again, I'm not going for headliners. That didn't work. I wanted to go for 7 headliners so we can, have an audience and then bring my artists within their booths so they can have their display. Right now, that's not going to be the idea. Now it's pretty much everybody and everyone's going to be equal, and, I'll get land and just put everyone on there and open book for everybody, right? And if we end up with profit sharing, it's going to be profit sharing for everybody. Okay, so trust me, there's not going to be competition and there's no limit. The bigger, the better. If you want to recruit your friends, your family members, if they're legit, incredible, even better. The point is to get to 144,000. Okay, once I have my 144,000, I'm going to run with you guys so fast that no one can catch up. And that'll be my promise to you. Okay, so let's all work together and find out who are the 144,000s. And out of the 144,000s, who is free to collaborate? The ones that can't, they can't. There's nothing to do, but you can influence on your own. You can influence the world with your own message, with your own marketing commercial, whatever, But for the rest, we're going to unite, and I'm going to show you the power of synergy, and you will be blown away. Okay, so the future is energy. It's not material anymore. All right, so thank you so much. I appreciate the time you've taken out your busy day to look at my video, and I hope to hear back from you in a positive way, please. Thank you, and ciao.